Okay, obviously late night, 7:50 kickoff, and I'm sure some of these, I heard one of them didn't even get to bed yet. So great day yesterday. Good to be here today at the winner's podium, and every day brings new things that need to be done and new challenges. So proud of these guys, proud of the leadership, thankful for the leadership that they provided this year and their last year, and just the way they conducted themselves throughout their career. And Pat, who was with us 1 year, who was such a tremendous add and leader for this football team.
Let's go ahead and start with our first question over here on our right-hand side on the aisle. Third row.
Good morning, Jeffrey. I'm JohnSpeaks.com. This is for any of the players who want to take it. Just give us a little bit of sense of a player's view of the scope of what you accomplished. You didn't just win a national championship. You did it at Indiana, which, as you guys know, at one point in time had the most losses in the history of the sport. You went from the bottom to the very mountaintop. Why? And just give us a player's view of, like, what is it like to go on that journey?
Pat, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, I think it starts with belief, right? Like, there's got to be a like-minded individuals, right, who come together for a common purpose, and sometimes that belief has to be a little bit irrational, especially at a place that hasn't had the success like Indiana. I haven't been here for long, but I've seen it. And I've seen the way that this place has been characterized. And when Coach Sig got here, he believed, and he got people to believe. And, sometimes people laughed at him and people thought he was crazy, but, that was a little irrational belief, right? Like, you got to get people to buy in. And you got to get people to think alike. And you got to get people to believe in the mission, believe in what we're trying to do here. And it takes a village, and it takes all of us. And it takes a whole coaching staff, and it takes a whole players, just everybody to buy in and believe in a common goal and a common purpose. And like I said, it takes a village, and it really took all of us.
Aiden?
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what he said, from a program that is known for losing and a culture that was in a bad spot when Coach Sig got here, it was all about changing the way people think, and that's, internal and external from the building. We described it as a sleeping giant when we got here. The Indiana fans and just the culture around Indiana was just hungry for a winner. And they just needed the right coach and the right players to come in and kind of flip this thing around. It's been a special ride, and I think we had just the right coaches, the right staff, the right players, and everybody that was, right for the job to make this thing happen. And it's just unbelievable to be a part of. And doing it in Indiana makes it 10 times more special.
Mikhail?
Yeah, just kind of like what he said, especially about the sleeping giant. I just knew last year when we played Maryland, that was kind of like the turning point for the program, I think. Once we played them and then we beat Michigan at home, it kind of just started a trend going upward. And then just to kind of have the season that we had last year and then have to end the way that it did, it kind of fueled a lot of the guys that were a part of that roster to kind of come back and work even harder throughout the summer, work even harder throughout camp, and then really just take it to them throughout the entire season. I think it brought us a lot of confidence in knowing that we could compete at this level. And I mean, we're 16-0, national champions, so there's nothing else you could have dreamt of.
We're going to come over here to our left-hand side, second row.
Hi, Coach. I think a lot of people are wondering now why it took so long for a Power 4 school to hire you. I wonder, are there other Curt Cignettis out there undiscovered? And if so, where are they?
There have been a number of guys coach at the D2 or 3 level, for that matter, get to P4 and been highly successful, and there's 4 or 5 of them still coaching. It took me longer. I got a great break when I was young, 23, at probably the second best conference in the country, the old Southwest Conference. But, you know, for the first half of my career, I was with teams that did not win. People don't hire assistants from schools that don't win. And when I was retained by Walt Harris, I learned a lot about quarterback play, was there 3 years. And then when I went to NC State, you know, we had Phillip Rivers, and we had a nice ride there, 7 years. And the 1 year with Nick felt like I was ready to rock and roll, and took a big chance on myself. So I think, you know, my trajectory, being with teams that weren't mega successful early on, but, you know, my journey led me to here, which is a great thing. The other thing I'd like to add, I think, to the question the players just answered about Indiana, I think that's called a paradigm shift. You know, it's kind of like people can cling to an old way of thinking, categorizing teams as this or that, or conferences as this or that, or they can adjust to the new world, the shift of the power balance, the way college football is today. So, you know, I think to look back at what happened to Indiana previous to us coming 10, 20, 50 years ago, strictly lacked a commitment from the top. That's it, plain and simple, nothing else. And we have a commitment, okay? And the other thing I'd like to say also is this. This team went all the way. This was chapter 2 in the book, okay? And very close team, special team. The first team never got the national credit it was due because of the controversy over the playoffs, the way we played the last 2.5 quarters against Ohio State and Notre Dame. That team got it all started, never trailed till the 9th game of the year, and when they did up at Michigan State, 10-0 first quarter, scored 47 straight. Started out 10-0, but never really got its due, and that was a special team.
We're going to come over here to our right-hand side, second row in the middle.
Hi, Scott Docterman with The Athletic. I wanted to ask you about competing in the Big Ten. This is the third straight year a Big Ten team has won a national title. You went on the road, you were battle-tested at a lot of really good teams. What does this say about the Big Ten and the conference you're competing in the big picture? And where is the conference position going forward, and how will that help your program continue to build its image on a national platform?
I think in answer to your question, results speak for themselves. Those are facts. No one can predict the future. All right, the future is unpredictable. I know that we have a huge TV contract, and all the institutions make a lot of money. And there'll be a lot of good teams next year in the league.
We're going to come over here on our left-hand side, second row.
Good morning, Coach. Bob Coyote with RCFB. Is 16-0 and a national championship, therefore, the new level that Indiana should be looking to season after season? Or are you guys going to schedule Hawaii and have like a 17-0?
Well, you know, from a schedule record standpoint, I guess that would be the absolute definition of perfection. And perfection's impossible to attain on a consistent basis. We'll continue to take it one day at a time, one meeting at a time, one practice at a time, and just keep improving and committing to the process and showing up prepared, trying to put it on the field and see where it takes us.
We're going to go on the aisle on our right-hand side, last row.
Hi there, Dan Spiegler from Fox 59 and CBS 4 in Indianapolis. Fernando, Coach, or whoever wants to take it, what are you anticipating the celebration will be like in Bloomington this week as you return home as national champions of college football?
Fernando, let's start with you.
Yeah, there was videos after the game of Kirkwood, and someone tried to show like my teammates and myself, and you couldn't even see the street. There's so many people. It was like a flood. And so I think that just epitomizes the Hoosier spirit and foreshadows the many long celebrations that they're going to be in Bloomington. I think that, like Coach Ignite said before, Bloomington's been a predominantly basketball town and basketball city for the longest time, and I think it's a great honor and great privilege to be a part of the team that brings its first football national championship. And I can only imagine what all the Hoosiers are looking forward to celebrating this weekend or this week.
We're going to come down to the very front row in the middle.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com for you, Pat, and for Coach. The offensive line doesn't get a lot of respect. Typically, they only get talked about if they make mistakes. This offensive line didn't make a lot of them. So, Pat, just what you can say to this team and how it starts in the trenches, and Coach, the entire offensive line, just what they meant to this 16-0 perfect season.
Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, well, certainly, as an offensive lineman, it's our pride and duty to protect the quarterback and do everything possible to protect the guys behind us, protect the guys beside us. And, it wasn't the cleanest day yesterday. I think everybody knows that, and we accept that. We take that on. We know that, right? Like, we have personal pride in what we put on tape and what we put on the field. We know it wasn't our best. But at the end of the day, we did just enough, right? Like, we take great pride in protecting our Heisman quarterback, and I'm really proud of this group, right? Like, it was a never-ending kind of journey of getting better, and it took all of us. It took the whole room, and it's a credit to Coach Bostad. It's a credit to Coach Leeds and everybody in that room who just kept getting better, really. We knew it was going to take all of us. It took everybody in that room. It was never just the five of us. It was a lot of us. It was everybody. It was Coach Bostad. It was Coach Leeds. It was Coach Higgins, like, drawing up run game and everything like that. So I'm really just proud of the group. And well, last night we went to war. Like, there's no doubt about it. And it's a credit to Miami and their defensive line. Really the most physical front, I've ever played. And I'm just really proud of the group and how we battled and continue to fight and solve problems, right? Because there was a lot of problems out there, and just continue to fight. So really just proud of the group.
Coach?
Yeah, we knew going in, we had a tremendous challenge in front of us. It all starts up front on both sides of the ball, offense and defense with your football team. The strength of Miami's team was their defensive line. We certainly got the quarterback hit more than we wanted to. There's no question about that. But, I give our line a lot of credit. We scratched out some tough yards in the run game when we needed to. Some critical third downs in the first half, and some ball control first downs aided by some third and fourth down conversions in the second half. We got some real lunch pail type guys up there, guys that don't get a lot of publicity, like Drew Evans, who probably doesn't say a word. He's a 4.0 student, and, he'll fight you to the death. And Bray Lynch is the same way, the two guards.
Yep.
Miami, they've got a couple guys there that are going to play a lot of football in their career. And, it was a tough matchup, and none of us have seen the tape. So that's what I'd say about that.
Come over here to our right-hand side, third row in the middle.
Yes, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. For Coach Signetti, from listening to you speak about your trajectory earlier this morning and now this morning, I was wondering if there had come a point along the way where you figured that a Power 5 or Power 4 head coach probably wasn't going to happen for you, and whether you were at peace with that if you thought that it wasn't.
Yeah, I can't say I woke up every day thinking about it. But even when I made the move I made from Alabama, I didn't make that move with this in mind. It was going to be a different kind of lifestyle. And I was going to get to be the head coach. And I was going to take it as it came and make the most of it. And then as we got more successful and I got more confidence, and, things just sort of happened. The one year that I thought really helped me professionally was the first year when I went to Elon. I think their record was about 7-52 when we went in there. And we lost our opening game to Toledo up there, who won the MAC. And then we won 8 in a row. And we were beating teams that had beaten them the year before by 50, 40 points. And that was a special team. And, then I felt like, okay, you got this thing.
We're going to move over here to our left-hand side, second row on the aisle.
Brandon Marcello, CBS Sports. Coach, this is for you. I know you're a film junkie. You said you haven't watched the film, obviously, yet. You've been quite busy. But when do you plan to watch the film? And is there any film out there you're really itching to see in the next few days, if you get time?
Staff's off today. I got to fly to Houston tomorrow for the Bear Bryant. So I'll be back in the office on Thursday and then see what the checklist looks like then. I'm sure there's going to be more immediate things need attended to. But get through the month, take a little vacation in February, go down to some nice hot weather island for about a week. And then when I come back, I'll figure out a few film projects that I think might fit next year's team and help me grow.
We're going to move over to the right-hand side on the aisle, fourth row back.
Mike Cunha, CBS Miami. Fernando, you just heard your teammates talk about how much of a battle that was last night. Just curious how you're feeling after that, and are the wins that much sweeter when you go through something that tough?
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. I think the wins are sweeter when you have to go through some adversity or some struggle. If it was just handed to you, then there would be no satisfaction at the end of it. And because we all got some bumps and bruises, especially in such a hard-fought war up front and just all around, I think it makes it that much sweeter. And just as such a testament to everybody, giving it their all. There's a lot of bumps and bruises and a lot of guys. However, it's the last game of the season. And so at that point, there's plenty of time to rest. And, those are good. Those are a good type of bumps and bruises because they're victorious bumps and bruises.
Back over here on the left-hand side, third row.
Yeah, Mike Neislick from the Herald Times. Kurt, your special teams units probably don't get the notoriety as the offense and defense, but they may have been just as dominant or even more. So Grant Kane takes a lot of pride in that. But how important was having the starters, a couple of them on the stage that buy into that on a daily basis, and that's kind of defined the success? How important was that? And then for Mikel, to have that moment with the blocked punts as the first commitment for Kurt's full signing class in 2020, what did that kind of full circle moment mean for you too?
Right. Well, no, our special teams have been, they've improved every single year. We've been in the top 10 of the country last, I think, 3 years, composite-wise, very high this year. Turnover ratio, I think we finished the season plus 21, but you had the blocked punts, which I do. We were plus 25. Mikhail's play certainly was a huge play last night where they were punting the ball, and we didn't have a block called. We had a return called. But he saw it, felt it, and gave great effort and turned into a touchdown, block punt touchdown. And, we try to put people on those teams, and sometimes it changes week to week depending on what the opponent's strengths are. But we've got starters, backups, and, some try-hard, walk-on type guys sometimes on teams. But everybody has to buy in on teams because a big special teams play can change the momentum of a game more so than, offense or defense. And look, if you don't buy in on teams, then you're not going to be on this team. Because, it's a play for our football team. But you're right, it doesn't quite get the media play that maybe offense or defense does.
Yeah, I feel like Coach Kane, and then obviously coming from Coach Sig, but they pretty much made it so you really care about playing special teams, right? So I feel like special teams is all about effort, it's all about grit, and it's just about, do you want to get it done or not, right? So I feel like special teams is a huge backbone in winning football games. And I feel like you could have the best offense and the best defense, but if you have a poor special teams, you're not going to win games. So Coach Kane I'm in the special teams meeting room every single day, just watching, Coach Kane's film, watching the Daniel Ndukwe's blocks, and just watching technique. So kind of when I went out there, it wasn't something that I've never practiced before. I kind of just went out there and did stuff that I've been taught day in and day out. So it just all came natural.
We're going to stay right over here on our left-hand side, third row. Any final questions? Oh, we've got one right back over here on the right-hand side. Back.
Serena Raboyne, WHAS 11 in Louisville. This is for the players. We have heard about buying into Signetti's program over and over and over again, but what is it about that really got you to believe in it? What was that buy-in like?
I think it kind of just starts with effort, right? It starts in the weight room during the winters, the 6 a.m. workouts, and then the summer workouts in the hot grilling sun. I think that's kind of when you start to realize what type of team you have, right? The guys that push each other to get one more extra rep, the guys who get on each other for missing the line. I think that's kind of when the buy-in starts. And then once camp hits, that's just playing football at that point, right? So everyone does camp, but it's not just getting through camp. It's about trying to improve throughout camp so you can hit the season running. And then once you start to win, that momentum just carries and carries and carries, and the result just kind of turns out to what we have now.
Yeah, I would say as somebody who will kind of look at it as a choice of, do you want to buy into something like this or not? It helps to look at the development Coach Sig and his staff have had with different players. The track record, the wins, obviously it speaks for itself. So, just knowing that, there is a plan in place that if you do buy in and kind of put your head down and work, you see the results, and that's, results in us, sitting on this stage right now. But, it just it's not for everybody, I will say that. It's a lot of times where you kind of second guess that decision when times get tough, but ultimately it's the best for you. I've said it, Coach Sig just finds a way to get the best out of his players. I think that's not only Coach Sig, but Coach Haynes, Coach Shanahan, strength staff, anybody that has the attention of our players. They're all like-minded on our staff, and they just kind of get the best out of all of us as long as you put your head down and work.
Yeah, I think it's a credit to Coach Signetti and recruiting us all here, right? There's been a lot of talk about transfers and all of our different journeys that have all led us here to Indiana. But at the same time, we've all been recruited here, right? Like, we've all been recruited here. We're all like-minded individuals that have been recruited here by Coach Signetti and brought to this place for a common goal and a common purpose. We're all cut from the same cloth, and I think that showed on the field this year. And just being in the spring, the summer, the fall with these guys, I think that showed. And I got to learn that firsthand when I got here in January. And it was a blessing, really. It's a blessing to be here, and it's a blessing to be a part of this group and this journey. And I'm really just grateful to be a part of this brotherhood.
I think that belief is crucial, especially when the margins in college football are so small, as we've seen time and time throughout the season. I was blessed enough whenever I stepped in this program, and I think it really a testament, trickle-down effect. And a lot of the senior leaders, when I first got to this program, leaders like Fisher, Kamara, Surratt, Carter Smith, all those guys, when I first stepped in the locker room, you could tell that they believed, and if you didn't believe, you're kind of like outcasted. So it was in a way that, like, hey, either on our way or the highway. And at that point, once you know and see everybody truly believe, not just believe because, they want, more catches or more stats, because they truly believe in the goal, I think it's infectious. And it's infectious throughout the locker room. And just so blessed to be a part of it, like Pat said.
We're going to take our last question from the second row on our right-hand side.
Yeah, Aiden, this is for you. When you look back, Pete DePrimo, IU Athletics. For who? When you look back at this, is there anything in particular that really stands out that you're going to remember in terms of what's the most memorable part of this?
I think last night will probably be number one. I mean, it's just been such a special journey for me. You know, starting at James Madison and coming here, you know, really betting on myself to, you know, be able to transform my game from the group of 5 level to here. And I feel like every game has a special little moment for me. But I think last night, just finally doing it, you know, with all the guys that, you know, the 7 JMU guys left, the Indiana guys that we kind of had some hard times last year with the Ohio State Notre Dame game. And finally kind of breaking down the wall in every big game we had, you know, just kind of kicking the door into all of them. Like, it was just a resilient group. It's the closest team I've ever been on in my life. Everybody just cares about each other. Everybody loves each other. And yeah, I think last night, just, you know, when the confetti fell, it's something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Just doing it with, you know, my guys. Yeah, I'll carry that with me forever.
Thank you all. Congratulations on an incredible season, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bless.